Hey family, boom, 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 boom. Welcome back to Perspective with you, to a special edition, darling. Yes, honey. So today we're having a special event, an episode of a Q&A. So a lot of people have asked me a lot of questions, and I feel like what better way to answer those questions at the end of season 1. Okay, so we have had an extraordinary season. We've had amazing guests on the show. I don't even want to mention them because there's so many. But I'd like to thank each and every single one of them. Actually, I'm going to try. We had Sofin Daba, we had Bokang Monjani Chabalala, we had Sandile Mahlangu, we had Itumeleng, yes, my best friend. In fact, let me just tell you guys why we started with that episode. It was because for me, it was like, let me actually just interview my bestie, and that was the very, very, very first episode that we had. We spoke about everything. We left our hearts in that show. We spoke about teenage pregnancy. So please do go and watch out that episode. It is fire. Then we did Timothy Maurice Webster. Love him. We did Penuel. We did Penuel, the God Pen. Maumela. We did Maumela Mahua as well. Amazing story. Can we just talk about how she shared about her past that nobody ever knew? We've always known her as Susan, and we just never knew that she had such a tough upbringing. So I'm so honored that she shared all of that with us here on Perspective with Itu. PJ Powers, oh my God, we didn't get a barrier. Oh my God, what a legendary episode. Can you imagine just having a conversation with PJ Powers? Amen. What an honor. And then she even sang for us. She sang her latest single called Breathe. Oh, what a beautiful song. And basically what she was saying from that song is, sometimes you just have to have a time in your life where you just breathe, what a beautiful, beautiful interview. Who else? Mascha. Yes, we had Mascha on the show as well. Oh, the mother of nations. We broke it down on that episode. We absolutely broke it down. We spoke about everything that you can think of and more. She left the show a different person. And I think actually that was one of the shows that solidified what we were doing here, because she left you saying this was truly a different conversation that she's ever had in her life. And she's Maschaba, and for me and the whole team, it was like, you know what? We are doing something great, we are changing lives. So yeah. Miss Cosmo. We had Miss Cosmo on the show. She wasn't playing hip-hop or anything, but we had a very deep conversation as well. I loved the conversation that I had with her because we spoke about how she felt like she was enough, and she's always felt like that. So please do go check out that episode. What an amazing soul, Yeah. Ma?
Hey. Brenda.
We had Brenda, but the show's only gonna air. We also had Brenda on the show. What an amazing episode. She was close to tears in that episode. She spoke about her upbringing, which was very, very emotional. She also spoke about how she actually doesn't even like going home because of her traumas, you know. So it was a very powerful interview. Please do watch it as well. And then comment down below on every single episode that you watch, okay? And then tell me what you have taken out from those shows. Yes, and then we had Nani. Oh my God. So Nani, we spoke about loss. I think it was a powerful interview because she spoke about how losing the people that she loves has impacted her and how she's still going through that healing journey. You know, it was such a powerful interview for me because a lot of people have lost people and they can't seem to move on from it, you know. So you find people who are stuck in that place of loss and then they're unable to move. And I mean, she's successful today. She's got a gym company, she's got a property company, and she's just doing amazing things in the midst of her still healing, you know. So like for me, that was a very, very powerful interview, very sad as well. With how she's lost her husband, her mom, her dad. Dude, like how many other losses can you go through as a human being, you know? But she wakes up each and every single day and she conquers the day, you know? So yeah, what an amazing episode. Sophie Ndaba as well, such a powerful interview. I mean, there was a time where like she spoke for like close to 45 minutes and I just allowed her to go through it, you know. Like for me, it was just like, let it all out, sis, let it all out. That's what perspective is all about, you know. I loved that. And yeah, oh, what a beautiful season 1, eh? Like we have had an amazing season 1. I can't wait for season 2. So without further ado, let me answer all your questions. Yeah. All right, so question number 1 is, what happened to you? Yeah, I think when people watch the show, like they're like, okay, cool. Like we can see that something has happened to you, but we're not exactly sure, you know? What happened to me? I got burned from a candle when I was 11 months old. I was sleeping on the bed and then the candle fell over the bed. I lost my right hand, 4 fingers, and my face is scarred, as well as the right side of my body. And yeah, that is basically what happened to me. I was in a coma for 3 months. I was in hospital for 3 years, fighting for my life when I was 11 months old. And from 11 months until I was 15 years, I've had a total of 104 surgeries. Every time I say it, people just like breathe in, like, oh my God, what? Yes, it was 104 surgeries, excluding the births. I mean, that's just like, a lame one, you know, with my twin boys. And yeah, so it's like 104 surgeries. It is a miracle that I'm still here. Honestly, it really is. All right. Question number 2. Did you go to university and what did you study? Because I went to varsity, darling. I mean, like, look at me. You know, I studied audiovisual communications at the University of Johannesburg. Graduated in 2013 or 2014, somewhere there. Majored in psychology. And yeah, I'll be doing my postgrad in psychology as well. I think I really love psychology because of the conversations that we can have behind a human being, you know, behind the facade that people show you. There's more to people behind them. And I think that's what I love psychology about, you know. That's why we can have the conversations that we are having here today. I mean, eventually I want to be Dr. Itumeleng Sekhu-Pedi, darling. Yeah. Okay, question number 3. I always see wine on your podcast. What's that all about? All right, so my husband and I have a wine brand called IS Wines. We launched it in 2020. It took us 2 years to actually come up with the perfect taste for the wine. How the wines came about was that I was listening to a song called New One by Hillsong, and the song basically goes, in the crushing, in the pressing, there was new wine. Now, when I heard it, I was like, what? In the crushing, in the pressing. This song is talking about me, you know? And then it goes on to saying, where there's new wine, there's new power. And I was like, ta-dum. Where there's new wine, there's new freedom. Ta-dum. And I was like, this song just speaks so much about me that I have to come up with my own wine brand, you know? And that's exactly what we did. We launched it in 2020. And we currently have a bush vine pinotage as well as a sweet rosé. Very, very exciting project. For us, it was more of, let's have a glass of wine over beautiful conversation. Yeah. It wasn't let's get drunk. No. It was let's have a beautiful glass of wine over conversations that matter. You know what I mean? Yeah. And the wines are currently at City Lodge hotels. And then they're also on Takealot. So please do grab yourself a bottle. And then the other question is, are you married? Yes, I'm married. Mrs. Itumeleng Sekhu-Pedi, darling. Yeah. Yeah, I'm married to a very tall, dark, and handsome guy. Period. How was dating in high school? It was cool. But I think high school for me, I don't know, like, I don't regard those as relationships. Like, you know, it's just this like nice, cool guy who like carries your school bag for you. And then you go to your class, you know what I mean? Yeah, so it was cool in that regard. I think for me, really, I really started properly dating when I was in varsity. Yeah, like we dated for 4 years. And then from there, I met my now current husband, you know? So yeah. Yeah, it's been quite cool. Do you have children? Yes, I've got 3 beautiful children. I have a girl who is 17 years and she looks exactly like her beautiful mommy. And then I've got twin boys who annoy me because they look like their dads. Like, excuse me, do you know how crazy 9 months is? 9 months? 9 months? And then you look like your dad? And I can't do. But may just start a podcast. I've always wanted to be on TV, even before I even matriculated. Like for me, it was just like a thing for me, you know. And I went for auditions. I went to agencies, you know, at the time, and they all said one thing to me, all of them. Because of your scar, it'll be sensitive for sensitive viewers. And that crushed me. I was like, what? You know, in high school, I was very good in accounting and maths. Yes, I love maths. And I was very good at it, by the way. Okay. And so I then thought that, you know, I was going to go that route. But when something is in you, it's in you, you know. And that is what led me to studying media. I was like, you know what? If I can't be in front of the camera, then at least let me be behind it. And that's when I went to go and study media, you know. So, yeah. But when something is meant for you, it's meant for you. And I eventually got to a place where I was like, you know what? It's now time for me to be in front of the camera and impart lives and live my purpose, you know, with my scars. And I think now that I find value to my scars and I find purpose to my scars, I'm going to be in front of the camera because of them. You know what I mean? Because of my scars, because I'm here to reach and live my purpose. Number 8, how do I deal with negativity? I'm a very spiritual person. Spiritual, so I worship all the time. In fact, I'm always worshiping. I'm always praising God. So when there's like a negative energy around me or like whatever, I take it back to my source. Like for me, it's just like, God, please just like deal with this for me. And in more cases than one, like when you take it to God, like he just sort of like calms you down, as his child. And then you know that you are able to move on. There are certain things that don't get to me anymore. So if somebody teases me about my scars, I'm just like, ha, ha, ha. Darling, go look at yourself in the mirror. Before it used to affect me very badly, but now not anymore, so there are just certain things that I'm like personally over. And no matter what anybody says, like they can't get to me. And then when something does get to me, I take it back to my Heavenly Father. Number 9, what made you focus on mental health stories on your podcast? So I'm a motivational speaker as well. And a lot of people would come back to me and say, oh my God, you have such an amazing story. And because of your story, you have literally changed my life personally. So for me, having this podcast and having your famous celebrities and your favorite people share their story is a way of saying that, you know what, we all have got scars. We all have got physical and internal scars. And therefore, we can all learn from one another's stories, because ultimately, these are amazing human beings who are doing amazing things every single day of their lives, but they are not excused from a certain scar that they probably went through when they were young, when they were urban. So now it's sort of like just people just sharing their stories so they can just all learn from one another. But also when you're sitting at home and you're hearing your favorite celebrity share their story, you're able to say, oh my God, I relate to that because I also lost my mom when I was 5 years old. But this celebrity, for example, is waking up and she's just like conquering her life, darling, and therefore so can I. Got it? Yeah. As a host, what are your expectations from your guests? I am hoping and expecting my guests to be open with me. If we are going to talk about scars, it has to be about your scars. It has to be, what have you personally gone through, so that the viewer at home is able to learn from your story. You know what I mean? So vulnerability, honesty, and just knowing that behind your story there's a purpose, and that's why we share them. Like, we don't share them so that people feel sorry for us. We share our stories so that people are able to learn from our stories and also grab that light that we have, and then they are able to move on, Yeah. As a viewer, what am I going to get out of the show? You are going to get honest stories from us. You are going to get a personal perspective of your favorite celebrities, of influential people. You are going to get a different point of view from your favorite people. You're also going to get that thing again of relating, right? relatable stories, so that when a Sofindaba, when a Pokang, when a Sandile Mahlang was sharing their story, and then you're able to relate and then grab whatever that they did to overcome what they went through, and then you are then able to grab it and then put it in your life and personalize it, and then you are able to conquer your lives. Get it? Yeah. How do you deal with day-to-day challenges in life? In life, in particular, again, honestly, I honestly take everything to God. If I'm upset about anything, you'll just start seeing me playing worship songs. I think that those that know me will know that whenever I'm playing a gospel song, it's because something is wrong, you know. I'm also the type of person that wants to get solutions, so I'm a solution-based girl. And when something is not going right, I'm like, okay, great. What is the solution? What is plan B? Like, what can we do to solve it? Yeah. But when something is really overwhelming, I take it to God. And in 9 out of 10 times, after I'm done praying, after I'm done worshiping, after I'm done praising, I will have an answer. I will know exactly what I need to do. I will, you know what I mean? Like, yeah. Yeah, I'm that girl. You have a radio background. How do you infuse radio with podcasting? Yeah, so I worked at Metro FM for 4 years. But before radio, I also worked on TV. So I worked on Yo TV with Akumzi. Oh, miss him. Worked on Making Moves. Worked on 3 Talk. Worked on One Gospel. Yeah. What else? I did so much, honestly. So before radio, I worked on TV, like for the longest of time. And I think with my experience from TV, I'm bringing it back here. I do still enjoy radio because it's now, it is, instant. With the TV, you shoot and then you still need to go to post-production and da-da-da-da. Whereas with radio, it's like, yeah, so radio by far is my favorite still. But TV, I love TV because it's more visual, and then people are able to see, like what's happening. I love the fact that you are able to see somebody's emotions, somebody's thoughts, really. With TV. Yeah. Yeah. Oh my God, yeah. You always ask your guests about their perspective on spirituality. What's your perspective on spirituality? I think I've shared a lot about my spirituality. I'm a Jesus Christ girl through and through. Okay. That God. That dude called Jesus, okay, saved me from myself. He saved me from trying to commit suicide 3 times. This dude saved me from seeing myself as a nobody to now seeing me as a powerful, super being. It was through that dude called Jesus. So I love him. I love him with all of my heart. I think I know everything, but I know that he knows better than me. Do you know what I mean? He's the one dude that when he speaks, I listen. I'm like, okay, cool. I hear you. I know you know better than me. And in every single circumstance where he has come through and he said, listen here, little sis, let's have a conversation. he's always right. So I've stopped debating with him and thinking that I know better than him. In more ways than one, he knows much more than me. And also what he's done with my emotions, as a human being. I think from trying to commit suicide 3 times, from seeing myself as a nobody to the person that I am today, just by him like whispering words of, encouragement to me and saying things to me like, I knew you before you were even formed in your mother's womb, just by him saying to me that, did you know, who else says that you can do all things through Christ who strengthens you? And I was like, really? Oh, so you can strengthen me? I love that. Through things like, for I'm the author and the finisher of your faith, he knows it best. He already has a book written about me. And I think when you don't even know what your purpose is, like you can just go to the author and say, hey, author, well, what does the book say about me? Him say in the very, very, very beginning in the book of Genesis that for you have the dominion, to reign over the fishes and the sea. So basically the power is in our hands. The power is in our hands. And I think when I learned that, I stopped giving the world and the devil the power, and I started to take my own power, and I started living the life that I'm now living, a life of power, a life of purpose, of love, of joy, of peace, of just like moving forward. I would have never have done that had it not been for those scriptures. So yeah, the good book. Love, 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 love Jesus. 15 is perspective with Itu reaching its full potential. That comes from our sound guy gift. Is perspective with Itu reaching its full potential? Absolutely not. I think we've only just begun. I think we are reaching higher heights. We are reaching heights that we never thought were possible. We're still going to be going global, speaking to global stars, darling. Yes. So I'm really, really excited about that. It's only the beginning. And we are here to stand as perspective of you too. Yeah. Oh, if you have any other questions or anything for me, please just ask by commenting down below, and we will definitely answer them. Thank you so much for every single person that comments on our episodes. It means so much to us, as a team. It just affirms that we are on the right track and that we are doing what we need to do. So I'm really, really grateful. Please do keep on commenting. We really, really appreciate it as a whole team. And I'd like to thank my whole team. None of this would have been possible without my team. Perspective with Itu is such a big production that sometimes when you see it on TV, you're like, oh my God, it's just mind blowing. It's just like, oh my God, Lord, thank you. And none of this would have been possible without the team. Same View Productions, with their state-of-the-art equipment, cameras, lights, sound, everything. It's Same View Pictures. Vela Creatives helps us with the post-productions. Our executive producer, Robert Mabusela, another one who is my husband, Sekhu-Pedi, as well as myself, and the whole team in general, camera, as P-Way, Franz, sound, gift, production coordinator, darling Jans, Tabani, our makeup lady, Sandile, our our other production coordinator, Javu, who is also not here at the moment, but I mean, he just does amazing work. Thank you to every single person that sacrifices their time every single time to come and shoot an episode for us to showcase to the world, really. Yeah, I'm so grateful. The show would have not been possible without any of all of those people that I just mentioned now. So, yeah, so thank you, team. Ba, 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 ba. Oh my God. Yes. Our JK Entertainment. I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful. I'm so emotional right now because I think when you realize the power of family, and that you can't do anything on your own, like you need other people to help you and to say, we are here, and thank you to you guys at home who watch the show religiously every single Thursday. We appreciate you, like the whole team appreciates you, with all of our hearts. Like, we are so grateful. There are no words that can express how grateful and how thankful we are for you guys taking your time every single Thursday to watch our shows. And from me, Mrs. Itumeleng Sekhu-Pedi, keep your perspective alive always. One.